it gets worse under pressure. So a guy with target pan, I can speak firsthand, right? And you'll meet a lot of guys like this. They'll say, I don't practice around other people, right? And I used to do the same thing until I realized that that's absolutely the worst thing you can do. But why? I understand everything that you've said. Why does it get worse though? The more stress you're under, because I've had situations where, like, say a bull's walking by, or I remember one specific situation. There was like 100 people standing behind me, and I had just shot a 3D course. I got through every click with my 2 or 3 buddies or whatever. As soon as there's 100 people standing behind me, it feels like I'm hitting a brick wall. I can't. There's no way that I'm getting all the way through my shot. I just want to let it go and hope that it hits something so I'm not embarrassed, right?
Hope you don't miss so that you're not embarrassed. I was the same way. But it's because your thought process is fragile, because you haven't practiced making decisions. Instead of using those people to up your determination, and you turning around and going to that crowd and going, watch this, right? Where that ups your determination, because now you'd have to perform. So you really have to buckle down and concentrate on the movement that makes it click. Instead of doing that, what most human beings will do is they have a very fragile thought process, and they're getting through shots. They're just getting through it. And every shot's kind of a mystery. Like, I don't know if I'm going to get through this one or not. Let's see how it goes, right? So you got yourself through these 30 shots at a 3D course, but then when there's everybody in there watching you, you changed your thought process that is fragile to start with. You changed it to, oh my God, everybody's watching me. I hope I don't miss. That has nothing to do with you moving through your clicker, right? So that's why when that big old bull elk's coming, you're like, oh my God, it's a 7x7. That has nothing to do with you moving through a clicker. So that's why we talk about practicing making decisions, and decisions increase your presence so that you can remember to talk yourself through movements that cause an explosion, right? So it's all this. And
that's what it comes down to, right? That's because even just talking about this, even just talking, like, I can picture scenarios in my mind where there's a bull elk walking in, and I can start to feel the feelings, right? Like you start getting. Everybody who's elk hunted or anything hunted knows this feeling. Your anxiety goes up, your adrenaline goes up. You start thinking, "Oh my God, don't screw this up! Don't screw this up." Okay, I'm going to do it. Arrow flying through the air, right? Or bullet. Everybody. Well, mostly everybody's experienced this, right? Yeah. But just when I started talking to you about this, and when you actually do identify a process. It takes so much stress out of the equation, right? Because now you're no longer thinking about, oh my God, don't fail, don't fail. Oh my God, I'm going to fail, don't fail, don't fail. I'm going to fail, and I failed, right? I used to have the same problem. It really, and I want to talk to you about this because I think it transfers over into every area of life, but for sure. Sports. Yep. So I used to be a golfer, and the last thing that you need to do when you're standing on a tee shot and there's water right and out of bounds left is think about how there's water right and out of bounds left, because you are almost for sure going to hit it in there if that's the last thought in your mind before you hit the golf ball, right?
Sure.
And bull elk, it's much less stressful if you go, I'm just going to walk through the same process that I just did 100 times in the driving range just fine. 86 of those shots were great. And that is so, like, it just takes this weight off your shoulder. I'm not worried about the water or the out of bounds. I'm just worried about going through these 4 simple movements. And odds are, based on what I just did in the driving range, that I'm not going to even touch those things. So they're out of sight, out of mind. And as soon as I started applying that on elk and other things, it's amazing how much less stressful shooting at shit is. Especially, dude, shooting with people now, I actually like it. I used to dread it. I did not want to do it. I love it now. And I actually... It's almost like a good workout. I like just kind of testing myself and seeing how well. But I'm not stressed out because I know that I really only have to do 4 things every shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, my 4 things that I do. And as long as I just focus on those 4 things, I'm not thinking about who's standing. I'm actually not even thinking about the target. I'm not thinking about anything besides those 4 things.
It's a very specific blueprint. We've made this blueprint so specific that it's no longer a mystery. I know what I need to be thinking about after I make a decision. Here I go. I know what I need to be saying after here I go. I know that I could stop that trigger movement anywhere within it, and I know what decisions I need to make and when I need to make them. So the shot is no longer a mystery.